Alright, so if you're watching this video, this is on one-step equations. The 1 through 4 problems over here are all ones where we're going to multiply or divide. So looking at number 1, when you have a number, which would be 2, and a variable x right beside each other, that is going to be multiplication. So I need to do the inverse of multiplication, which will be division. So I'm going to divide each side by 2, if this would work. So I'm going to divide each side by 2. I know 2 divided by 2 is just a 1. So I would write 1x. And then I know negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. So that will equal negative 3. The reason these 2's cancel out is because 1x is the same as an x. So our final answer would be x equals a negative 3. On number 2, we need to get rid of this fraction, negative 2 over 3. So to do that, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. So let me write that. So a reciprocal, for example, if I had 5 over 6, the reciprocal to that would be 6 over 5. So all I'm doing is flipping my fraction. So let me get rid of this negative 2/3 and make it negative 3 over 2. So I need to multiply by negative 3 over 2. So if I do it to the left side, I need to do it to the right side and multiply by negative 3 over 2. In this case, my 3's are going to cancel, my 2's are going to cancel, and my negatives are going to cancel. So I'm just left with an x on the left side, an equals, and then 6 times negative 3 would be negative 18, divided by 2 is a negative 9. So you can just type that in your calculator just how it looks as well. On number 3, I have x divided by a 2, so they are dividing. The opposite of dividing would be multiplying, so I'm going to multiply each side by a 2. If I do it to the left side, I need to do it to the right side. Now my 2's are going to cancel out, and I'm left with x equals negative 4 times 2 would be a negative 8. Okay? Last one on multiplying and dividing. I have x divided by 10, so the opposite of dividing by a 10 would be timesing by a 10. So let me multiply by 10 on the left side, multiply by 10 on the right side. My 10's will cancel out, leaving me with x equals. In your calculator, you would type 3 divided by 5 and then times it by 10. So in this case, our answer would be 6. All right. So those are examples on multiplying and dividing. If you look on this right column, we have one step to adding or subtracting. You always need to look at your variable. Here's my variable. Need to see what they're doing to the variable. Well, they're plussing 2. I'm going to do the inverse, which would be minus 2. So you're going to subtract 2 on both sides. A plus 2 and a minus 2 give me a 0, so those are going to cancel out. I'm left with an x. Bring down your equal sign, and then negative 3 minus 2 is a negative 5. And that would be my answer. On number 6, it looks a lot similar, except they switched our x's around, so now my x is on the right side. So I still need to look at the x, which is right here, ask myself what they're doing. Well, they're subtracting 4, so I'm going to plus 4 on both sides. So now I need to do it under the negative 6. A plus 4 and a minus 4 are going to cancel out. And I'm left with negative 6 plus 4 is a negative 2 equals x. You're more than welcome to leave your answer like that. That is also the same as x equals negative 2. Order does not matter on those equation problems. On 7, a little bit tricky because you have a number in front. So first you got to look at this x. I need to get rid of this positive 2, and the opposite of a positive 2 would be a negative 2. So I'm going to minus 2 on both sides. I know this 2 minus 2 is going to cancel out, giving me 0. And I'm left with x equals a negative 3. Okay? Last problem. Same thing. I've got a number in front. I've got a negative 3 in front. The opposite of this negative 3 would be a positive 3. So I'm going to do that to both sides. -3, +3 cancel out. I'm left with x equals a -7. And we're done. So those are one-step equations, solving either by multiplying or dividing and adding or subtracting. So if you would like to watch part 2, which is two-step equations, you are going to need to stop this video and watch the next video on Canvas. But there is one-step equations. Thank you for watching.